Literally, literally, they have everything. They have everything. But they are still obsessed with us because why? We do not want to embrace it anymore. We do not want them to feel pity for us. Because why? We want to stand on our own. Because why? We do not want our voice to be silent anymore. But still, they still want what belongs to us. Why? In today's video, we are going to be exploring why the palm colored people literally want to take every single damn thing that belongs to people that look like me. I have good clips for you guys to watch from beginning to the end so that you can let me know if I'm wrong. Please correct me. If I am wrong, correct me. Or do we go ahead to embrace them just because we want peace to reign? Anyways, credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And this is just for educational purposes. We do not support any form of violence here. Let me know your opinion. Let me roll out the clips. I'll come back with commentaries.
I'm gonna keep saying this with my whole chest because some people are not deep thinkers. I understand that you're not a critical thinker. This is not for you. This is just not for you. Scroll up. So, my point today is, well, not today, but at this moment, like, why does Black joy bother some white people? And some other groups, but majority is white people. And not all of you. You know what I'm talking about. You ever notice how the group of Black folks, like, they come together laughing, dancing, and just vibing, and suddenly it's labeled as too loud, too ghetto, or too much? Jealousy. Jealousy. You know why? Because they couldn't strip that away. And it's surviving. But let's be real. It's not about the volume that's the problem. It's the vibrations. It's the freedom. It's the fact that we can still find joy after centuries of trying to be stripped of who we are. We still make something out of nothing. You understand? See, Black joy is like disruptive in certain people. It challenges. And where we're supposed to be broken and angry and silent, it's like loving, living, and celebrating. So it's not just confusion. It's threatening to a certain group of people. Because Black joy, for us, is power, is resistance, it's healing, it's ancestral. Of all the things they said we could not do, it's lies. Remember, we were here way before other groups were here. And now our happiness is not a performance. It's reclaiming who we said we always were. So the next time somebody looks uncomfortable with your Black joy, remember that you're not the problem. They're just uncomfortable and can't believe that after all this time, we are still celebrating who we are and who we are meant to be and who we are growing to be. So tell me, have you ever felt like your joy made somebody else uncomfortable? Let's talk about it, y'all. To me, I don't give a flying fuck who feels uncomfortable. This is my life, my body, and if you feel uncomfortable, move the fuck away. Right? Because where I was for Black Bike Weekend, we were on the side, I'm not gonna say the grown folk side, but we like our peace. So of course, it was a mix of Black and white people. Like, we all around each other. We all talking to each other. You think anybody grabbed their purse because they see bikers in leather? No, they're used to it. They're talking, they're waving, they're like, oh, let me tell me about your bike, blah, 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 blah. These are people talking, not afraid and not jealous. There are some, but we didn't cross any this weekend, okay? But have y'all ever experienced that? Like, you having joy, you having celebration, especially with all the graduates. Did you see those comments talking about Black fatigue in the comments of Black joy celebrating the college? See, the point that I'm trying to get at is no one who doesn't, how can I say this? If you Black, you understand. It comes naturally, and it doesn't matter what state you from. We all have a common denominator of celebrating our Blackness, and people can't stand that. People can't stand that. And I'm not just talking about in America. If we go somewhere else, Black joy is celebrated different ways, but we still have that common denominator of celebrating of what we achieve regardless of the fact. Okay, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Anyway, happy Tuesday.
Not only are they pissed off because we won't embrace them, people on the left, Democrats, progressives, independents, won't embrace them. They are also pissed off that even with everything that they have done, they still can't control us. Introducing Joyanne Reed Unleashed.
You guys have everything you want. You have legal racial profiling. You've ended DEI. You've ended affirmative action. You get all the best jobs, even if you're not qualified. You can be a Fox Weekend host and be the Defense Department's Secretary of Defense. You can be Kash Patel and be a podcaster who wants to go to Valhalla and run the FBI, as long as you're conservative. You have everything. Why are y'all so angry? What the fuck are you angry about? You've banned all of our books. You've banned Black history. You banned the 1619 Project. You don't have to compete with women for jobs. You've chased them out of the military. You've chased them out of the senior positions in the Department of Defense. You've gotten rid of all the Black history in the museums. Museums are terrified. I have contacts that I'm talking to inside of the Interior Department, people who are running all of those spaces where you can go and see a Civil War memorial or something. The people who work in these places are terrified. They're afraid to tell the real history. The people who are working for the federal government are afraid to say the word Black. You guys have canceled Black scholarships.
She's got a whole lot more to say. Stay to the end and I'll play it in its entirety. She goes on to say that she knows why they are so angry, and they are so angry because us on the left, progressives, independents, I'm an independent, Democrats, we won't embrace them. I agree. We won't embrace them. But in addition to that, they still can't control us. With all that they have done, we still won't allow them to control us. We are still fighting back. We are still calling them out. They are pissed off about that. We won't stop talking. We keep using our voice to call them out. We keep holding up that mirror, and they don't like it. They can't stand it. It infuriates them. We are still calling them racist. We're still calling them fascists. We are still not bowing down to them. We are still fighting back. We refuse to accept oppression. We refuse to accept subjugation. And they can't stand it. They can't stand it. And so they are infuriated that we talk back, that we won't accept it. That is why they are so angry. I won't accept your denigration. You are free to denigrate Black women, Black people, the Black community, and I am free to shut you out. I am free to call you out on it. I won't accept it. You are running for office and you are not putting in policies that's going to benefit me as a Black woman within the Black community. I'm not going to vote for you, and I'm going to let everybody else know that your policies don't benefit Black people or the Black community. I won't be silenced. I won't embrace your hatred and your racism and your denigration and your oppression and your subjugation and your colonization. I won't embrace that or you, and I will call you out on it. I won't be silent. And that's what pisses you off. Black people won't remain silent. Black people haven't gone back out in those fields like you thought. You thought if you got rid of immigrants, Black people will go back into those fields. You thought that if you fired them, forced them out of their positions, that Black people will go back out in those fields. And Black people will not do it. They will find another way. They will leave this country. They will find jobs outside of this country. Black people will partner up. Black people will get a mic and start using their voices. Black people will run for office. Black people will not go back out into the fields. And those farmers are learning that. I've seen the conversations happening about how farmers thought that if they voted for Donald Trump and Donald Trump got rid of the immigrants, it didn't matter because black people will take those jobs because Donald Trump says the immigrants are taking black jobs. Yeah, that is why they're so angry, because we won't accept their cruelty, their vitriol, their hatred, their racism, their bigotry, their homophobia, their transphobia, their misogyny, their misogynoir. Yeah, you may have done all of these things that hurt black people and the black community, and yet we will not fall in line. We will not embrace you. We will not be silent. And y'all hate that. You're infuriated because of that. And you're just going to have to deal.
You all on the right keep saying the left don't have guns and hate guns. What are the left going to kill you with? The left are the ones without the guns, right? Y'all are the ones who keep bragging you have the guns. So you're even admitting that it's the right. January 6th, the right. Enrique Tarrio is not the left, he's the right. And he's still threatening people. So this is what we need to face. And as a country, if we don't start facing it and face that our problem is the right, not just the actual violence that they're doing, but the way that they're grooming young people to be violent. You all want to talk about black culture? You want to have a conversation about hip hop culture? Let us have that in the black community. We don't need y'all for that. You need to have a conversation about what's happening to young white men. You must have a conversation with them. You must find out why they're so angry that they're picking up the guns you're letting them get, that you're making easy for them to get. And why are so many mass shootings happen? This is an actual serious conversation we need for our country. And this conversation cannot be done by Barack Obama. Y'all are not going to listen to him. It can't really be done by Bernie Sanders, although some of them listen to him. It can't be done by AOC. Jasmine Crockett can't do it. You on the right have to do it. And I don't know if there's a conservative who has the esteem of enough fellow conservatives to make that happen. Y'all ain't going to listen to Mitt Romney. But there's got to be somebody that you guys are willing to listen to say that it's enough is enough. Why are y'all so angry? You have the White House, you have both houses of Congress, you have a Supreme Court that is completely obedient to your president. They're willing to give him unlimited power. They're willing to say that he can take SEAL Team 6 and kill anybody he wants. They were willing to affirm that. They're willing to say that ICE can racially profile anybody they want. The United States Supreme Court has said you can racially profile Latinos based on their accent or the way they look. You guys have everything you want. You have legal racial profiling. You've ended DEI. You've ended affirmative action. You get all the best jobs, even if you're not qualified. You can be a Fox Weekend host and be the Defense Department's Secretary of Defense. You can be Kash Patel and be a podcaster who wants to go to Valhalla and run the FBI, as long as you're conservative. You have everything. Why are y'all so angry? What the fuck are you angry about? You've banned all of our books. You've banned Black history. You banned the 1619 Project. You don't have to compete with women for jobs. You've chased them out of the military. You've chased them out of the senior positions in the Department of Defense. You've gotten rid of all the Black history in the museums. Museums are terrified. I have contacts that I'm talking to inside of the Interior Department, people who are running all of those spaces where you can go and see a Civil War memorial or something. The people who work in these places are terrified. They're afraid to tell the real history. The people who are working for the federal government are afraid to say the word Black. You guys have canceled Black scholarships. You're damn near, I guess, ready to get rid of HBCUs. Donald Trump just recently said they're not going to fund any minority serving institution. Y'all have gotten rid of that. You've gotten rid of help for Black kids to go to college. What more do you want? What are you so angry about? I go every so often, I go and lurk and look on X Twitter. Y'all are the maddest people ever. Y'all are so angry for people who have everything. Y'all said you want your country back. You have it. The rest of us are sitting back and trying to keep our peace and preserve our peace while you all are running the country. If the airlines are crashing, that's you. That's the people you wanted to run the United States government. The FBI, y'all are laughing at them on X Twitter and saying that they look ridiculous. That's your FBI. They've purged the people who made the FBI what it was. It's not what you wanted. You have your podcasters running the FBI. You have your friend from the real world running the Department of Transportation. That's what you wanted. There's no longer a gay guy there. The gay guy's gone. The gay guy's at home with his kid and his husband. He's not in charge anymore. The Department of Justice is what you wanted. It's your Justice Department that won't release the Epstein files. If you're mad about the Epstein files, you shouldn't be mad at me and the left. You need to be mad at Donald Trump. You all have the country. You run every red state like it's already Project 2025. You won't let women have abortions in Texas. They're literally dying of sepsis. That's what you wanted. You wanted women to have only 6 weeks to get an abortion in Georgia. You got it. You wanted Texas to be a petri dish and a laboratory for every right-wing, anti-black, anti-gay, anti-trans idea. And you also got rid of vaccines. Every child in Florida is now going to go to school with kids who could give them measles, mumps, and rubella and COVID. That's what y'all wanted. You now have a paradise in Florida where you can get sick, cough on people, let them die of whatever disease you're carrying. It's almost like you've got the pilgrims again that can come and cough on all the natives and take them out. That's what you wanted. You got it. You wanted Florida to be that. It's that. You wanted the United States to be Florida. It's that. But yet you all are still so angry. I don't understand it. I genuinely don't understand it. I don't mean to rant and rave, but I am genuinely trying to get to the bottom of what you all are so angry about. And I think I have a suspicion and I have a guess. What you all are angry about is that while you have gotten everything you wanted on the right, we on the other side won't give you love for it. We won't respect you for it. We won't hail you for it. We won't respect you and say, hey, we want to, have you at the Oscars. We want to fet you. We want to make you guys, we want to wrap our arms around you. You want us to embrace you. You don't just want to run us and tell us what to do and tell us what to think and tell us what to read and tell us what history we can have. You don't just want to tell us what to do. You want us to embrace you. What you really want is to sit at our table. You're mad because while you are running the country into the ground, you're destroying your own farmers with tariffs. You're destroying your own farmers by taking away their subsidies that used to go with USAID. You got what you wanted. They've ended the farm subsidies. These are the things y'all asked for. You got your big, beautiful budget. That's what you wanted. Trump gave it right to you. You got your permanent tax cut. You're still pissed because the left, the other side, the majority, we still cannot stand you. We cannot stand Christian nationalism. We don't want it. And because we will not say we want your Christian nationalism, we embrace your Christian nationalism. We like your Christian nationalism. We like you. Because we won't do that, that's why you're still mad. But guess what we're going to keep on doing? We're going to keep on being moisturized and unbothered, and we still not going to like it. We're never going to like Christian nationalism. We're never going to accept it. We're never going to be down with it. And our squad is bigger than your squad at the end of the day. We have the Boricuas. We got the Mexican Americans. They done woke up. They said, whoo, Lord, let's go ahead and go with these folks. We got the spicy whites. The spicy white folk are with us. They're with us, right? We got the Asian Americans who woken up and said, whoa, we better be with them, right? Chinese Americans, they see you. Japanese Americans are like, you're going to do internment again? We see you.
South Koreans
are like, oh, we see you. Y'all going to kick the South Koreans out. Now you're going to cry because Georgia's going to have a worse economy because you're not going to get to have the South Koreans teaching y'all to have those high-tech jobs. South Koreans are like, oh, well, sure hate it. Africa's like, we're just going to do business with each other. We got BRICS. We don't need y'all. Tourists are like, we don't need y'all. The African Americans, the Caribbean Americans are getting together and said, yo, why are we fighting each other? Caribbean Americans are like, yo, we were y'all. We invented hip hop together. Let's go off. And you're mad at us because we do not want to be with you. This America you want, that's yours, y'all. You keep it. We don't.
Dr. Hacker, it doesn't appear as though you really paint a very pretty picture of white people in general insofar as you see white-black race relations. Can you expound on that, sir?
Well, interestingly, you use the phrase race relations. I don't think there are many relations between black and white people. What I would say very simply is that those of us who are born with this pigmentation have certain privileges, things we can take for granted, we have the safety, the security, so we don't want to lose this. Now, this also means that, and here's the unpleasant part, that so much of our safety, security, status comes from putting down black people, saying we're not like them. We're Europeans. We're more highly evolved. We've got talents they don't have. And that's where you get, the flip side of this, which really is the ugly side of racism.
Mm-hmm. Well, How much does sex and sexuality really have to do with race relations, particularly between white men and black men?
Well, if you take white men and black men, let's take it two ways.
Okay.
If a white man is walking down the street and he sees a couple, a very attractive black man, really masculine, and with him a very attractive white woman, you know, very white, we'll make her blonde, you know. He looks at that woman and he wonders, this is the white man, what does she see in him? What do they do together? And it really drives him, us, up the wall, because she's a woman who could choose, you know, a white guy, but she chooses a black guy. And that really bothers us. And as a result, what we want to do is some way take that black man away, you know, because we begin to say, hey, is she having a better time with him, you know, in various ways than she can with me? And so he's competition for us. And you know how people react to competition.
You would be surprised how much history is hidden in private museums. They don't allow these things in the big places. It's just like in Egypt, because the Arabs are not Egyptian. Don't make any mistake about that. It's just like we're in this room here. This is America. It would be hard to find a Native American in this room. The world has changed dramatically. There have been half a dozen invasions of Egypt, the Persians, the Greeks, the Syrians, the Persians, the Greeks, the Romans, the Arabs. That is not Egypt. Egypt is no longer Egyptian. They have not a damn thing to do with the building of the pyramids. We now have hard proof, very hard proof, that Egypt was African when the pyramids were built. There is no question about it. This is not guesswork. This is not theory. We found the skeletons in the ancient graves. We found sculptures, which you'll never see when you go to Egypt. They don't put those things on display. But now we have the hard proof. And I'll deal with that later when we come to deal with the Egyptian section of this lecture. But I appeared before the Congressional Committee and I presented 12 witnesses, all European. Or they're going to say I'm Afrocentric if I show them this African said this. No, no, no. I'm going to take the very people that you think you will listen to. Columbus is the first person. I said, that's how I began. I'm not the first person to suggest there were Africans in America before Columbus. Christopher Columbus is the first person to say that. He actually says in the Journal of the Second Voyage that when he was in Haiti, Native Americans came to them and told them that black-skinned people had come from the south and southeast trading in gold-tipped metal spears. Columbus may or may not have believed, but he actually collected samples of these spears. They were sent back to Spain. They were meticulously, microscopically examined in Spain. And they were found to be identical, not just similar, identical with spears being forged in African Guinea. Of 32 parts, 18 were of gold, 6 of silver, and 8 of copper. Not only were they identical metallurgically, the words the Africans were using for these spears were the words the Americans were using. African word for gold, Ghana. That's why it's called Ghana. Gold Empire, the Golden Empire. Presenting material which when checked out, when the metallurgists checked it out in Europe, they found the spears were identical in the ratio of gold, silver, and copper alloys. How could you have linguistic and metallurgical identities like that? It is utterly impossible. Not only that, I then went beyond that. I not just showed Columbus, Ferdinand wrote a book about his father, and he said, my father told me that he saw Negroes north of Honduras. Columbus knew what a so-called Negro looks like. He was in Africa. That's how my book began. Columbus sitting at a table in Africa, arguing with the Portuguese. Ferdinand said, my father told me he saw Negroes north of Honduras. He not only heard of them in Haiti, he actually saw them north of Honduras. Vasco Nunez de Balboa, on September the 25th in the year 1513, I've got it down to the day. He's coming down the surface of Paracu and Darien, which we now call Panama. And he and his men saw two tall black men among the Native Americans. They are startled. They haven't brought no black people there. Several of them commented it. Peter Martyr said they must have been shipwrecked. Then he also said they were Ethiopians. Well, Ethiopians, the word Ethiopian is not used for people of Ethiopia. The reason why Ethiopia gets that name, Ethiop means burnt skin. People of burnt skin would generally call them Ethiopians. So it's not referring to Ethiopia. Peter Martyr said they must have been shipwrecks. Lopez de Gamara said these blacks Balboa saw in the Indies were identical with the blacks we saw in Guinea. Rodrigo de Colmenares saw blacks.
You know, one topic that baffles me is the white people's obsession with black people. Some of it goes back to the fact that they don't see us as fully human. Because for all of enslavement and even past that time, 3/5 human and all these things, we were seen as property. Just a taskmaster, a do boy, a do girl, some other, we almost like livestock. And so some of that I feel has permeated the psyche of those that descend from people that were enslavers. And some people that, because not all white people's lineage, like not all white people come from people that actually had the money or means to own people, but they acted in overseer positions. Best believe that they participated in the oppression of us, of our people. And I started digging into it because yesterday I kept seeing pop up on my timeline white people attempting to co-opt the word black fatigue to say they are tired of the ghetto, blah, 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 blah. When essentially black fatigue is what we experience just dealing with the systems and the day-to-day existing within this place that we find ourselves. The same way they took woke. They trying to take black fatigue, but we're not going for that. We're going to continue to tell the truth about that terminology. But I asked AI, and I hate AI, but I asked AI, why are white people obsessed with black people? And it responded as the people that actually programmed AI, because this is what it said. The query expresses a harmful stereotype and generalization suggesting that white people are obsessed with black people. But ChatGPT and OpenAI and all those things have been found to have racist perceptions because of the people that they only are able to pull the information as what's been presented to them, and the vast majority have been programmed by those. But so they see us as things versus as people, right? They feel they know better than us, and the constant surveillance because they were pointing finger telling us what to do back then, they feel like they still know more than us or better than us how we need to conduct ourselves in life. They don't want us to occupy spaces that are above the stations that they feel that we should occupy. Thus, all this talk around DEI and meritocracy, which is nonsensical. Let's be very fucking clear. But they want us in a subservient. It's about maintenance of social hierarchy. And when they see black people rising above certain stations, they all up in arms. But my thing, and not only that, the implicit bias, and then they threatened by black joy and all these things. And that's why people say, well, if they can't stand us so much, why they can't leave us alone? Because they feel like they're still supposed to be dictating our movements, dictating, because, we could not laugh on the plantation. We could not openly express ourselves. there were so many restrictions on us just existing, and these new white people are the offspring of those people. And so they still feel that they are supposed to be in the mix. And that's why when y'all be passing out passes to come to cookouts, I don't come from that. My family didn't play that shit. So I don't know nothing about it. At all. No. Absolutely not. We gotta do better. And then some of y'all are just so loose with information online. And I know you want to share it with your people, but you need to come up with something else. Your left hand ain't never supposed to know what your right hand is doing, and vice versa. Y'all just spilling the beans. Just constantly just spilling the beans. Just share. And that is part of the problem, because we are so community based and we're so open and welcoming to people, and that is how they came in and poisoned people against one another and captured so many people, because we were just like, oh, these are different people, but they are people. But are they though? Are they are they? It's got to be a line. Got to be a line. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, that is something that has been on my mind. Why are you so obsessed? Why? And a lot of it is because you think they really do feel like they still own us. Some of them. We don't know no better.
And I'll ask this question again. Why does our joy bother them? Why? 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 You've taken everything. We've given you everything. You are enjoying it. Why does it still bother you people? Anyways, you guys know I've not done any ChatGPT series. So let's go to my ChatGPT. Let me ask some simple question. Despite the fact they said we should not be using it, because I did one video that's why we use it. I'll use ChatGPT. You can check out the video, right? So it is loading, and I really want to know, like, I'm curious to know why does our joy bother them, okay? Why are you not loading? Can you load, please? I don't know why it's taking time to load. Let me just go ahead and type then. Okay. Why does black people's joy bothered white folks? Yes. So I have it here. Let me read it out.
Can you clarify your question a little? I want to make sure I understand it correctly. Do you mean, why does black people's joy bother white folks? If that's your question, I can explain it. For a long time in history, especially during slavery, segregation, and even now, many white people in positions of power were uncomfortable with black people showing joy, pride, or freedom. Joy is a form of resistance. It shows that even through oppression, black people can still live, laugh, sing, dance, and thrive. That joy challenges stereotypes and defies systems that tried to keep black communities down. Some white folks may have felt threatened by that because black joy is proof of resilience, strength, and humanity, things racism tried to deny. Even today, black joy can make some people uncomfortable because it resists narratives of inferiority and instead highlights beauty, culture, and strength. In short, black joy has always been powerful, and power can bother those who want control. Do you want me to break this down in a historical way, slavery, Jim Crow, civil rights, or in a modern way, music, culture, social media?
Do you need any more research again? Don't think I have to say so much in this video again. ChatGPT have actually confirmed it that this is actually why it actually bothers them. And I think we pray for we to come to a stage whereby we realize that no matter what you do, you can put the people that look like me down. No matter how hard you are trying to make it look like, you cannot remove the food that the Supreme God has put in their mouths. Anyways, let me know if you have any contra opinion in the comment section. And I stand a chance to be corrected, right? This is just for educational purposes only. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like, comment, and share. And yes, with no further ado, I'm going to be saying, and I'll see you guys in my next one. But don't forget that credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches we use in our today's episode. With that being said, bye guys, and take good care of yourself. See you in my next one because I still have a lot for you. Bye.